I've been wondering what Oregonians are making of this loud argument over this bill with kind of the lofty language that it invokes about constitutional principles and the voice of the people. And I have a strong sense that a lot of them are rolling their eyes, maybe because they know we're not saying the quiet part out loud. So let's do that. Both parties want the election date they want for partisan political reasons. I'm going to say it again. Both parties want the election date they want for partisan political reasons. Everyone in this chamber knows it. Most Oregonians who are paying attention know it. And if we imagine otherwise, we are greatly underestimating the intelligence of Oregonians. There has been one recurring charge in the significant amount of email I've received opposing this measure, and it's serious enough that it needs addressing. And that is that 1599 disenfranchises Oregon voters, that it silences their voice. It's serious enough that I'd like to take a minute looking at that. If 1599 passes, here's what happens. In the first week of May, every single Oregon voter will receive a ballot in the mail. They will need, if they want their voice to be heard, they will need to open an envelope. They'll need to take a ballot out of the envelope. They will need to darken an oval, either a yes or no, with a pen. Then they have the choice option of coloring in other ovals on other measures. And then they need to put it back in another envelope and leave it out in the mail for the mailman. What if they don't have a postage stamp handy? A lot of people don't anymore. We're paying the postage. Now, what I want to ask us all to consider is, can you think of a voting system that is more enfranchising than that? Can you think of a system anywhere where it's easier for citizens to have their electoral voice heard? I can't, unless perhaps next session you pass a bill to enclose a pen in every envelope just in case voters don't have a pen. So I would really like it if we could have the candor to dispense with the disenfranchisement argument. And if we sweep away all of the political partisan tug-of-war around this bill and focus on what's best for Oregon, that would be a refreshing change for Oregonians. There is a huge challenge looming ahead of us. Oregon's transportation infrastructure is decaying at a rapid pace because we haven't been paying our way as we go in maintenance. We need substantial investments at a time when a significant sector of Oregonians don't want to pay more than they are now for those investments. That is about as big a public policy challenge as you get. And to put off one more day addressing that challenge is something, I just can't imagine why we would do that. The outcome of this ballot measure is a threshold decision that will guide our direction on that challenge. Part of the discussion has to be increasing efficiencies, as an earlier speaker says his constituents are telling us to do. It's a very important part of that conversation. We can get that threshold decision either in May or November, 6 months later, which would leave very little planning time before the long session. With either date, Oregonians will have an extremely easy way to make their voice heard, arguably easier than citizens of any other state. I cannot think of a single reason, colleagues, outside of partisan political maneuvers, a single reason grounded in what's best for Oregon and Oregonians to delay the decision of the people for 6 more months. Let's get going on this. I ask your support for Senate Bill 1599. Thank you.